If Joe Biden were indicted for using undue influence to help his son Hunter, would that bother you?
If he was indicted, no, he needs to be in jail just like Hunter.
Would it disqualify him from the presidency if he were indicted?
I would hope he'd just go straight to jail because of, I believe he's guilty. He's the big guy.
What about President Trump, who has been indicted 4 times?
Yeah, that's all just the Democrats just playing their games, like the impeachments and the January 6th. I mean, all that was just...
What was January 6th? You're shaking your head about January 6th.
Well, the Democrats did it, Nancy Pelosi, and, Trump had nothing to do with that. It was all planned.
It was. Where was that? Where has that been, adjudicated?
Yeah, there's certain pages you can follow on Telegram, and people, if you follow the right people, they're telling what's happening behind the scenes. That.
Do you believe in QAnon?
Oh yeah, yep.
What?
I follow. Yeah.
And is Q part of the reason why you're here today?
No, just our country needs to get rid of the corruption in our government.
A lot of people were saying that former President Trump was using undue influence, which is corruption, in Georgia to try and flip the results of that race in 2020. How do you feel about that?
I believe I've watched the tapes where they did hide ballots under the counters and tables, and I've seen it all. I mean,
even though in court they said that isn't really what happened.
Yeah, but that's you got Democratic judges and stuff that are running that stuff. So
and Trump appointed judges too, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but.
If Biden were indicted, say, as you suggest, for, facilitating Hunter Biden's advancement in business, exerting any kind of influence he could, do you think that should disqualify him from the presidency?
I think his mental capacity should disqualify him for the presidency.
But specifically what I just asked, though.
Yes. If you're found guilty, just because you're charged, no. But found guilty, yes.
So if Trump is found guilty before the election, do you think he should be disqualified?
Not with a jury and a judge and lawyers and everything in these liberal cities, because he's being set up, and I don't buy it. I don't care whether they find... You put a trial in Ohio for him for the same charges, then maybe I'd believe whatever the outcome was.
Right, but there's a lot of Trump-appointed judges and prosecutors who are involved in this too, right?
It doesn't matter. They bought out. They sold out. I mean, look at that one guy that, I can't even think of his name, but the head honcho that started all this. He looks like a freaking KGB guy, please.
Did the indictments against him matter to you?
No.
If President Biden were indicted for unduly influencing so that it helped his son Hunter, would you think he should be indicted?
Yes.
I mean, and do you think that should disqualify him from the presidency?
Yes.
But why the indictments against Trump not disqualifying him, but yes, indictments for Biden and disqualifying him?
Because Biden's a liar, and I don't believe in him.
But do you understand that it's the same, like an indicted president or former president? You can't, they both would be considered liars if they're convicted, right?
Maybe. Depends on who's running against who.
Let's say he used undue influence to help his son Hunter out, and it turns out that...
Say he did.
Well, I'm doing it in a hypothetical. We don't know that. You don't know, and I don't know. But let's say it in a hypothetical. If it were to have happened, and he was indicted, would that disqualify him from the presidency?
Should.
But 4 indictments against President Trump don't disqualify him?
Well, they're just after him because he's going to beat him.
But who's after him then?
Huh? The Democrats.
Just the Democrats. Okay, thanks. If President Biden were indicted for using undue influence to help his son Hunter, do you think that would disqualify him from running for president?
I don't know. It looks like Joe's in deep. Joe's in way deep.
It's becoming pretty clear that there were some high crimes and misdemeanors as far as bribery and things like that. So if that's the case, and he's proven guilty in an impeachment trial or something like that, then certainly that would disqualify him.
What's the difference between what that would do for Biden versus Trump?
for one thing, I don't believe Trump is going to be found guilty of any of the charges. I think they're trumped up charges, if you will. So I don't think he's going to be found guilty. I would support him even if he is found guilty. So
Would that disqualify him from the presidency?
Joe Biden with his 20-some shell companies, you know, him on tape with the Burisma deal. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? He is so corrupt, it's not even funny.
But should he be disqualified from the presidency for what he did?
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, Joe Biden, he doesn't know whether it's Monday or Tuesday or Sunday. And let him run. I really don't care. You know, I mean, he's not running our country anyway. It's Biden, it's Obama, it's Soros, it's the deep state that's running our country.
Where was that proven?
Where was that proven?
Yeah, in other words, that there's this thing
Joe
called the
Biden,
deep state.
I don't know if it was proven or not. I can't say that, but you honestly, you probably know in your heart of hearts that Joe Biden is not running our country.